Welcome back to Miniature Game Montage and a Kill Team Battle Report. I recently got the starter Space Wolves painted up as part of a larger project, and I'm anxious to try them out. Today they will face off against the Necrons in the mission Terror Tactics. It's all coming up next. The Space Wolves are led by a Reaver Sergeant with combat knife and special issue bolt pistol. All will have grapnel launchers and grav chutes. Specialists include a Reaver with combat and another Reaver that is a scout. In addition, 2 more Reavers join their ranks, in total 91 points. The Necrons are of the Mephrit dynasty and are led by an Immortal with a Gauss Blaster. Specialists include a Veteran Immortal and a Comms Warrior. Non-specialists include 3 additional Necron Warriors, in total 94 points. Today we are playing Terror Tactics, and in the scouting phase, the Space Wolves have elected to plant traps, rolling for 1 piece of terrain to be booby-trapped. If an enemy model moves within 1 inch of that terrain, it will trigger, and on a roll of 1, it will cause a mortal wound. The Necrons have chosen Eliminate Sentries. Since the Space Wolves didn't select Take Forward Positions, this strategy will not apply. The Space Wolves will have the strategic advantage in the mission and will choose their deployment zone. We're scheduled for 4 battle rounds with the potential to go to 6. Victory conditions are that each player scores 2 victory points for each of their models that have broken through enemy lines. 1 VP can be scored for each enemy model taken out of action by one of their model's attacks. If there's a tie, the Space Wolves will be victorious as they have the lower points rating. There is a special rule, Wreak Havoc, in which any model that moves off their enemy's battlefield deployment edge will count as broken through and score points. If you like Kill Team and would like to see a narrative-based setting like we do with Necromunda, let me know in the comments. We are still learning Kill Team, so there may be some mistakes as we go, but doing a campaign is something that we've been thinking about. And with deployment complete, we're ready for turn 1. And initiative phase for turn 1, the Necrons in the blue dice, they roll up a 4 on 2d6. The Space Wolves will be taking the priority in the first turn. We did roll up for the advances off camera, taking into account the difficult terrain here. He actually rolls up 2 6s, so these 2 are on the move. The next one, moving down the right flank, he rolls up a 4 on his advance and gets behind some cover. And then we've got a move down here, getting behind cover, bringing one of those Necrons into 12-inch range, and he rolled up another 6 on this advance as well. So go ahead and get those 6s out of the way. Now, this is the terrain that's booby-trapped. This is how we play the area terrain. So we are going to roll up for the leader, and he is easily going to pass on this 6 and just make a normal move, actually falling back. You can't go within 1 inch of this terrain now, as it is considered dangerous. We're going to roll up for the next one, as he is now standing in that dangerous terrain. Rolls up a 1. He's going to take a mortal wound here, and it is a 5. He is going out of action. The rest of the Necrons will ready up to fire, and we will move to the shooting phase. The Necrons will play a stratagem called Overcharged Disgentegration on this Gauss Blaster now firing out. He is getting the boost from comms. That will negate the cover, so hitting on 3s. Both of these go through rapid fire. Strength 5, Toughness 4, needs 3s to wound, and this is going to be AP -4 with the Mephrit Dynasty, so these save rolls will not even matter. The Reaver is reduced to 0 wounds, and an injury die is rolled out. He will take a flesh wound. The Comms Warrior will attempt to finish him off with his Gauss Flare and 2 shots, rapid fire, hitting on 4s with Obscurity. Both shots are going to miss. We've then got the 2 Necron Warriors over on the flank that are going to fire as well, getting that obscured bonus, so needing 4s. The first one will miss both shots, rapid fire, quickly rolling out for the second on him, again needing 4s. One of these will connect, but it will need 4s to wound, strength 4 against toughness 4, and that will cause a wound, and with the Mephrit Dynasty, this is AP -2, the save is made. So the Reaver is standing tall, finishing out these shooting moves. The Necrons will get a shot from this Immortal over here. 2 shots, rapid fire. The Necron that was within pistol range was taken out by the dangerous terrain, but 2 shots coming out with his Gauss Blaster hitting on 4s with Obscurity, and 1 will go through, and then Strength 5, Toughness 4 needs 3s to cause a wound. That will cause a wound, and that will strip right through, so the save would not matter. It was failed anyway. Another injury die is going to be rolled out for this Reaver, and it is a flesh wound. And turn 1 comes to a close. The Space Wolves were able to roll high advances and close the gap quickly. The Necrons did lose a warrior due to the dangerous terrain that was from the booby trap. They were able to put 2 flesh wounds on that leading Reaver, but the Space Wolves are moving up the board quickly. Turn 2 coming up. Turn 2 initiative rolls coming out. The Necrons rolling up a 5, the Space Wolves with an 11, and they will take the initiative for turn 2. And the Space Wolves moving a little more cautiously up the left flank, just playing normal moves. We have an advance played by the leader here as he moves behind cover, and then 2 ready markers are being taken, one by that wounded Reaver. The Necrons' turn, pretty easy, all of them taking ready markers and attempting to fire, trying to create a hole, and the first shot will come from the Reaver into the warriors here. A single shot from the pistol will need 4s due to obscurity. They do not suffer any kind of modifiers due to the wounds, due to transhuman physiology. He is going to miss, and then the Necrons are going to take a shot back. The leader, Immortal, takes a shot at the Reaver coming down the flank, and this is the Scout. Obscurity needs 4s to hit. Both of these will connect, and it is Strength 5 against Toughness 4, so 3s needed to wound. 1 wound will go through, and this is AP -3 with the Mefrit Dynasty, and that is going to be a failed save, so he will take a wound. The next readied Reaver takes a pistol shot at the Necron Warrior who is obscured. That shot will miss. And then the Necron Warrior here, again playing Overcharged Disgentegration, shooting through the windows at that wounded Reaver, will need 4s here due to obscured. And both of these are going to connect on a 6. Strength 4, Toughness 4, so 4s will be needed to wound. And it looks like both of these are going to wound. It's going to take this weapon to AP -3, and that's due to the Mefrit rule as well as the Overcharged Disgentegration. It looks like both of these are going to fail. He needed 6s here, and injury dice rolled out, and it's a flesh wound. The rest of the ready Necrons fire their Gauss Flares and Blasters, the first targeting the wounded Reaver in the middle here with his Gauss Flare, and both of these are going to hit double 6s again. It needed 4s with obscurity, and then needing 4s to wound. One of these will go through. It is AP -2 with the Mefrit Dynasty, and that's going to put this to a 5-up save. That is failed, so an injury die will be rolled out, and he is taken out of action. The next warrior will fire at the upcoming leader that is obscured, will also need 4s. Rapid fire, 2 dice coming out. Both of these are going to hit, and then needing 4s to wound. It looks like 1 wound will go through, and AP -2 takes his save to a 5-up. The save coming out now, and it is failed. He will take a wound, and the Necron Immortal will fire at the same target with his Gauss Blaster. 2 shots, rapid fire, needing 4s with obscurity. One of these will go through, will need 3s in order to cause a wound, and that will fail. Continuing in the shooting phase, we do have some Reavers on the left flank that will fire their special issue bolt pistols, one targeting that Immortal leader in the front. That shot is going to miss. The other targeting the warrior through the window, and it is obscured and long range. This shot will need 5s. It will hit. And then this is Strength 4 against Toughness 4, so 4s will be needed to wound, and it will cause a wound. And this pistol is AP -2, so that will take my save to a 6. Save coming out now is a 1. That will fail. Reduced to 0 wounds. An injury die will be rolled out here. And it is a 6 that triggers reanimation protocols, and he stands back up, and that brings turn 2 to a close. So the Space Wolves continue to inch closer to charge range. They did lose a Reaver in the middle. The Necrons avoided any losses on this turn, and we are getting ready for turn 3. Necrons are going to be forced to move at this point if they want to win this game. And turn 3 priority rolls hit the deck. Necrons with a 5, Space Wolves with a 7. Alright, Space Wolves movement. We are going to roll up an advance here as the Scout is going for a score, but no need to re-roll. He gets a 6. That is going to take him off the board, and the Space Wolves are going to score 2 points. In other moves, we have a charge coming from this Reaver, and he is going into the Immortal Leader, and rolling that out, double 6. He is easily going to make it into combat. On the other flank, this Reaver rolls up a 2-inch on his charge, moving a total of 8 inches. And then the leader moving into combat, no need to roll. He's going to make it in just fine. Now we are going to go back and let these targets react. 2 shots on this Gauss Blaster, needing 6s. These are going to miss. And then 2 shots from the Gauss Flare, also needing 6s, and those are going to miss as well. Over for the Necrons movement, they roll up a 6 on an advance, followed by 2 4s, and the Necrons are officially on the move, going toward their opponent's board edge to try to get into scoring positions. The Necrons are going to play a stratagem called Tireless Advance, which will ready up this Immortal, and he will be able to fire as if he did not move. And he will target this Reaver over here. This is the Combat Specialist. 2 shots going out, connecting on 4s with Obscured. 1 will go through, and then Strength 5 needs 3s to wound. That will do a wound, so an armor save comes through and fails, and he will take a wound. He has 1 remaining. In the fight phase, Hammer of Wrath attacks going out, 3 coming across with the Combat Knife. That is 2 base plus 1 for that Combat Knife. Only 1 will hit, needing 3s. And then it is Strength 4 against Toughness 5, so needing 5s to do a wound here. A wound will go through, and armor save will be taken. There's no AP on this weapon. It is good, and then we will move over to the leader. Now this Reaver Sergeant has a base of 3 attacks, and we completely missed that, so we roll 3 in total. It should have been 4 with his Combat Knife. Once again, hitting on 3s, there will be 1 of these wounds that are going to go through. Going to let him re-roll this 1, as that was a really, really cocked one. It still comes out as a 1, so not a very efficient 2 combats here from the Space Wolves. And he's only Strength 4, Toughness 4, so a 4 will be needed to wound. No wound. So now the Necrons are going to fight back, and we will start with this Immortal here. 1 shot connecting on 3s. He will get a hit, and then he will need 4s to wound. He will not get a wound. The Immortal Leader will fight next, and he gets 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. Both of these will hit the Reaver, and then Strength 4, Toughness 4. 4s are needed to wound. Neither of these wound. Into the fight phase, and the Space Wolves will play a tactics card, Honor the Chapter, allowing someone to fight again, and that will go to the leader. Again, should have been 4 dice here. All 3 of these are going to connect, however, so needing 3s. So 3 shots go through, and then needing 4s to cause wounds, and all of these but 1 will cause a wound. So he has 4-up armor saves. I make 1 of those. That will take him down to 0 wounds. I am going to command reroll 1 of these saves to attempt to keep him up, and it fails. So an injury die will be rolled out for him. 1 die, and it's going to be a flesh wound. And after some debate, a command point reroll comes out for that, and it is still just a flesh wound. So turn 3 comes to a close, and the Space Wolves were able to score 2 points, and that will give them the lead as one of the Reavers, the Scout, was able to make it off the board. The Necrons have still cut down one of the Space Wolves, however, so the score is now 2-1 as we get ready for turn 4. And initiative rolls for turn 4 coming out now. The Necrons are high, and the Space Wolves are higher yet again. So initiative going back over to the Space Wolves. We do have an advance being played here by this combat specialist, and he rolls up another 6. I've never seen so many 6s on advance rolls. He gets off the table, scores 2 points for the Space Wolves, and the Necrons, they are advancing as well, although much slower, and their dice rolls much lower. And that is all for movement. We are going into the shooting phase where the leader is going to take a shot with his pistol, and he will need 3s in order to connect, firing at this Necron warrior that he is tied up in combat with. That shot will miss, and then we go to the bottom where this Immortal is tied up with this Reaver. He takes a shot from his pistol, and that shot misses as well, and we move into the fight phase. And with the initiative, the Space Wolves, the Sergeant will attack. Again, should have been 4 dice. He will hit on 3s. 2 of these will go through, and then needing 4s to wound. That is 2 wounds. There's no AP. My armor save is 4. Both of these fail, so an injury die will be rolled out for this Necron warrior, and it is a 6 that will trigger reanimation protocols, and he stands back up. We now move over to this Immortal. He is going to fight this Reaver here. 2 shots coming out, needing 3s, and both of these are going to hit, and then needing 4s in order to wound. Both of these will wound on double 6s. Armor save being taken, and both are good. There's no AP, so just needing a straight 3 there. The Reaver fights back with 3 attacks of his own, and needing 3s. 1 will hit the Immortal, and then needing 5s in order to wound. There is no wound. And then back over for this Necron warrior. He will get 1 shot at the Space Marine leader here, and he hits on 3s. He's going to miss. Hanar the Chapter being played by the Space Wolves to fight again, and it goes on to the Sergeant. He once again hits on all 3 of these shots. Should have been 4. And then wounding on 4s. And he does put a wound on the warrior. A 4-up save will be taken, and that will be failed. So an injury die will be rolled out, trying to get rid of this warrior to free up the middle, and that 3 will take him out of action, and the leader will use this opportunity to consolidate out of the difficult terrain. And that wraps up turn 4. The Space Wolves were able to get a total of 3 points out of this turn, and they desperately need a 3-up on this D6 roll to continue the game so they can attempt to get some of their fighters off the board edge. And rolling for that, we are going to turn 5. Initiative rolls for turn 5 going out now. The Necrons have yet to win initiative this entire game, and they finally do so here. And they are going to play advances, trying to get their guys off the board. 1 will easily make it. The Immortal rolls up a 6, and it will not get him wholly off the table, so he is stopped there. The next one rolls up his advance, and he is moving a total of 9 inches. So the Necrons will need an extra turn if they want to get those other 2 off the table. The Space Wolves player is going to take his Reaver leader off the board, and then we are going to move into the shooting phase where this pistol shot goes against the Immortal. It will land a hit, but it does need 5s in order to wound. That does not happen. So we go into the fight phase, and the Immortal will get to attack first with the initiative. 2 swings going out, and it needed 3s. Both of these are going to miss, re-rolling 1 back out. And the Space Wolves player will fight back with his 3 attacks, needing 3s as well. And all 3 of these are going to go through. He does need 5s to wound, however, with that toughness 5. And 1 wound will go through. It is a 3-up armor save on this Immortal. And that is easily passed. The Space Wolves playing Honor the Chapter once again to fight again with this Space Marine here, and again needing 3s to go through and needing 5s to cause a wound. There are no wounds, and that brings us to the end of turn 5, rolling up for a turn 6, needing a 4+ to continue, and we do not get it. The game is going to end, and the Space Wolves are going to come away with a victory today. And that is going to wrap up this game of Kill Team as the Space Wolves come out with a victory 7-3. They were able to get 3 of their fighters off the opponent's board edge and take down one of the Necron warriors. Over for the Necrons, while they were able to take down one of the Reavers and get one of their fighters off the board, they desperately needed that turn at 6. They could have easily gotten those other 2 fighters off the board to at least force a tie. However, in the event of a tie, the Space Wolves still would have come out victorious as they had a lower points rating by 3 to the Necrons. I really hope you enjoyed this segment of Kill Team. I would like to say thank you to our latest coffee supporters, Jacob P., Legend Eternal, and Will. Thank you guys so much for your support and for buying me a coffee. If you have any interest in doing that, there'll be a link in the description below. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this one. Take care for now.